Good afternoon, Growing Gorillas. This month for our life skills, we are talking about perseverance, and I could not think of a better time to be talking about such a wonderful topic. One of the stories that we have going on in our life skills this month is the story of the bees collecting pollen. And I think it's such a great story because the little bee found herself being, a little bit, slower from some of the other bees and not as fast. So every time she made it to a flower, the other bees were already there taking up all the pollen. And finally, when she did find one where there was some pollen and no bees, they'd kind of come on and then they'd push her off. So she wasn't as strong. So she had to keep fighting to try and find some flowers that had good pollen because she wanted to bring food home to her family. She didn't want to not finish the drill. She didn't want to not bring home pollen so everybody could eat. So that meant she had to fly even further out to get pollen from other flowers. And finally, when she did, she flew so far out, she found some pollen on some flowers that was really far away. So when she started to fly back, she had to persevere through a rainstorm. And, that almost took her out, so she had to find shelter in a tree. She didn't know if she could, make it back, but she told herself she was going to continue because she was smart and strong. And I think that that's super important. You guys need to tell yourselves how, think about all the positive things that you have going on. Finally, in our story this month, the bee ran into a swarm of wasps, and she knew that if she, didn't keep flying and lead them to a different place, they were gonna, go back to her hive and wipe out all of her friends and family and take all of their honey and their food sources. So, she didn't let that, beat her down. She told herself she was smart and strong, and she kept on flying until she lost those wasps. She finally made it home, even though she was tired, and hungry. But she did it. She made it home with pollen, and she got to, add to the hive to make sure that everybody got to eat. So it's interesting thinking about all of the things that we have going on right now, how you have to tell yourselves positive things so you can keep going on. Coach Lee, what is a situation in your life where you had to persevere and, not give up in challenging times so you could still achieve the goals that you'd set for yourself?
I think I talked to my kids last week here, just here in the gym doing jiu-jitsu. I use an example maybe like, especially, it still happens now, but early on, rolling with somebody like a Coach Steve or a Coach Luke, you might get tapped out like 15 times in like a 5-minute round, but you just have to keep, get it back up, slap, bump.
You never gave up.
Do the round again. No, you just keep coming back. You just keep going. I mean, obviously getting hurt or whatever aside, but you keep coming in, you keep working, you just do another round.
That's awesome.
Coach Steve, or you get darsed by Coach Luke, you roll back over, boom, slap bump, you get darsed again, or Coach Bowles or whoever. You keep coming back. Just because you lose doesn't mean you're done with jiu-jitsu.
That's happened to a lot of us. I think that's a great point. What about you, Coach Steve?
I got hurt pretty badly about a year and a half or so ago. I hurt my shoulder, my chest really badly. I couldn't do jiu-jitsu for it was a month or two at the time, but I still managed to get out. I would teach some classes. I would try to do some solo things on the mat that didn't make my shoulder hurt. I found some exercises in the weight room that I could still do, so I could still try to keep my body as strong as possible while it was healing up. And it took about a month before I could get back on the mats, and I still had to be really, really careful for the next month that I was on the mat. And all in all, it was probably over 2 months before I could start, training in a way like I had before I got injured. But, I kept myself busy. I tried to learn some new things about jiu-jitsu, about lifting weights while I couldn't train as hard as I wanted to. And like I said, I found ways to work around the injury and try to improve other aspects.
Nice. I think right now might be one of the most difficult times in my life. And I think mainly it's because we're trying to figure out ways to keep all of you guys, informed, connected, and learning jiu-jitsu. So this is a difficult thing that we're having to do, but we're all, working together to try and make sure that you guys get this information. I think that's another way of another form of perseverance, and I hope that you guys are watching it appreciating it and practicing your Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu at home with your family. So I think that's everything for us. You got anything else?
Not right now.
All right. Take care.
All right. Hey guys, got a couple more exercises for you. So first off, we're going to start with some squats. So with squats, I can cross my hands over my chest. I can put my arms out straight in front of me. Either way is fine. It's up to you. I'm going to stay on my feet, about shoulder width apart, maybe even a little bit wider. I'm going to sit back just a little bit. I'm going to open my knees up, and I'm going to squat as low as I can. My feet are completely connected to the floor. I'm up nice and tall. I come back up. I sit back. I open my knees. I go all the way down. From the side, it looks like this. I sit back. I open my knees. I go nice and low. My hip is lower than my knee. Come back up. My feet are connected. I finish my squats. We've also got some sprawls. If you don't have a matted surface, that's okay. Take them a little bit slower. You can do these on the carpet, but I am going to put my hands on the ground, throw my legs out behind me, my hips hit the ground, hop back up to my feet into a ready stance. Hands hit the ground, hips hit, back up into a ready stance. And last but not least, we've got our shot. Sometimes referred to it as heel toe knee. I'm in a good ready stance. I'm going to change levels. I'm going to take a step forward. My heel's on the ground. My toes hit the ground. My knee hits the ground. I'm up nice and tall. My leg follows me up. I'm into a ready stance. I change levels. Step forward. Heel, toe, knee. My trail leg comes up. And back in my ready stance. Again, even if you don't have mats, you can do this nice and slow. The further I step out, the easier it's going to be. It's nice and slow, and come up into my ready stance. Good.
All right, last time with Coach Luke, we looked at bridging and shrimping to our turtle. Today, we will look at making that offensive and ending up on top after going to our turtle. So let's take a look at what that's gonna look like. All right, let's take a look. So, last time we bridged into our partner, threaded the needle, and ended up in our good turtle. But now we're gonna take it further, flip Coach Steve over, and now we're gonna be on top, right? I'm gonna end up in our good Superman. So we're on the bottom in our good posture. I have my dead dog posture, knee up, I'm posted, my arm's in a good place, I bridge, I thread the needle. I want to keep my head nice and tight in here somewhere right on Coach Steve's belt. I'm going to reach, I'm going to grab this leg, I'm going to grab the same leg with both hands, and I'm going to be on my toes. I'm going to drive right through Coach Steve. Oh, keep my chest on his chest. Clear my legs past Coach Steve's legs. And I'm in my good Superman. So let's let Coach Luke look at that one again. Bridge to turtle. That's where we need to start. So come around here. My head, my ear is gonna stick right in here near Coach Steve's belt. Maybe in here near his belt knot. I reach through. Now on my toes, I drive. As I pull everything in, I keep working my chest towards Coach Steve's chest, and now I'm in my good Superman. All right, so that is how we do it. If you have a partner at home, we can make this a drill where we just go back and forth, because Coach Steve's gonna start in the bottom, he's gonna come up, put me on the bottom, then I can do the escape. It will just keep resetting itself. So it's gonna look like this.
All right, guys, so we just looked at going over turtling up and making that offensive from the bottom. Don't forget, if you were here the other week, we also have another escape we can use from cross-side bottom. So again, I still have my good dead dog posture on Coach Lee. My hand is underneath his neck. My other hand is up against his side. It's gooseneck. My knee is connected to Coach Lee's hip. Okay, there's no space here. I'm gonna make a small movement with my foot to widen my base just a little bit. I'm gonna bridge into Coach Lee, and as I bridge in, my knee slides into that gap at his hip. It allows me to put a shield in. From here, I extend myself away from Coach Lee. I can put my foot on his leg, get my other leg out, and pull full guard. So one more time. Good dead dog posture. My hands are in the proper place. My knee is connected to the top of Coach Lee's hip. I move my foot to widen my base. I bridge into Coach Lee. My knee drops into the gap, creating a shield. I extend myself away. I put my foot on Coach Lee's leg to extend a little bit more. I get my foot free, and I pull Coach Lee into my closed guard.